Hello everyone and welcome to Plague Inc. Evolved, a game about spreading a virus across the world and destroying humanity. Sound familiar? This was a game I actually intended to record on the channel about 2 and a bit years ago, just before the start of the pandemic. And I got delayed and I never got around to making it before the pandemic set off, and it never really felt like the right time to play it. I think now it is the right time for me to go back and record this once again. So I'm going to go on a single player. I'm going to go main game. I have played this game quite a few times before, so I do know roughly what I'm doing. There are many different things we can do here. But we are going to go with our standard bacteria. You can see here I've got like a gold bacteria chevron. And there's a whole bunch of genes I can go with. I'm not going to go with any genes because I think that makes it a little bit easier. But I am going to go... I think I played on normal, I played on brutal, but I've never tried mega brutal. So, this is going to be tough. I may not succeed, but we're going to give it a go. And what do we want to name our plague? I think we're going to name it after someone who's been in the news a lot recently, has done a lot of stupid things, and is generally a bit of an all-round prat. Elon Musk. So we're going to call the plague the Elon Musk. And we'll see how this goes. Can we spread his stupidity all over the world? Let's go. Now, I haven't played this in a couple of years, but from memory, I want to start... The big issues are in Greenland, Iceland, and Madagascar. I think I probably want to start somewhere cold. Well, I normally start somewhere warm, actually. I normally start kind of in Saudi Arabia. I normally start in Egypt, actually, because that gives me 2 ports and a plane, and I think I will still start there. Elon Musk begins in Egypt. There we go. For those of you unfamiliar with Plague Inc., you gain research points, or you gain disease points, and then you can evolve your virus. The transmissions, the symptoms, and the abilities, making it either harder to cure, making it more infectious, more deadly, as time goes on. Of course, the more infectious it is, the more deadly it is, the more the world starts to notice, and that's not something we want to happen. So we want to infect as many people as we can before it becomes noticeable. And we are playing a Mega Brutal. So we want someone to start infecting people pretty quickly. I think probably the coughing's going to be a good start. And I think we can also go for rash. We need to be careful though. Sometimes the virus can evolve without our approval. Sounds like an invoice. But it can evolve beyond where we want it and starts making it more noticeable to the general public. As you can see here, there's only 6 people infected in Egypt, but it looks like half of Egypt is already covered, but that's just the way the game portrays it. I'm intrigued to see what the next country will be. We've got good land borders here. Well, we're gonna struggle in the cold, rich countries. That's definitely for sure. So that's definitely kind of the main thing, is to focus on trying to ensure that we stay ahead of any modern medicine. But I do want to get some more infectivity, but I don't want to push too far down this route, because also when the severity goes up, that's also going to make things a lot tougher for us as it starts to get more noticed around the world. But here you go, we're starting to infect Egypt at a decent rate now. And soon it will either spread to another country in Africa, or maybe in the Middle East, or it will travel by plane or train to another part of the world. Like I said, Madagascar, Greenland and Iceland, those are the real issue points for us. I want to start thinking about, yes, withstand cold temperatures and climates. We're going to get that straight away, because it's already got good heat resistance because it's in Egypt. Because I think it tells us about Egypt. So Egypt is a poor country, it's an arid country, and it's a hot country. So it's already going to have decent resistance against those climates. What we need to work on is the cold, rich countries. because that's going to be the real tough point. Kind of actually, probably most of Europe will be the Europe, Canada. Those will be our real tough points, I think, and of course Greenland. But we're just waiting to see where the next infection point will be. The Eurozone is near collapse, as is very similar to real life. I want to increase the ship transmission. Here we go. Pathogen can survive outside the body in fresh warm water. Increased infectivity, especially in humid environments, and ship transmission. We have 2 ports out of Egypt, so having ship transmission, not a bad idea as well, especially as both Greenland and Madagascar can only be accessed by sea. Eventually, countries will start blocking off their ports, their land borders, their airports, in an attempt to stop the virus, and they will start researching a cure as well. So we need to be a little bit careful and get ahead of things. We're still waiting to see where we travel next outside of Egypt. Eventually we might see a red plane or a... There we go, there's a red plane. We've travelled to South Africa. Okay, that's good. That is a arid and hot country, so that makes sense. It's kind of the same there. We've also infected in Saudi Arabia as well. Wonderful. I want to think about maybe some plane-based things, or I want to work on the rich countries, I think. Okay, we're starting to infect the Middle East here and some parts of Africa. Elon Musk is... Actually, that's quite fitting that Elon Musk has infected South Africa first. Very true to real life. We've got India here. India's going to spread pretty quickly, and I think that will end up going into Russia. Even though Russia's quite cold, but we are starting to see some progress. I want to go against some drug resistance, so that increases effectiveness in wealthy countries. If we don't do that now, we're not going to spread into the wealthy countries anywhere near fast enough before we get noticed in some of the bigger countries like India, South Africa, sort of India, Russia, South Africa, maybe Brazil if we travel there. Right now, we're still very much a small disease. No one really cares about us, but in time, that could easily change. Oh, we've got a boat here. That's, I think, going to South Africa again. It is. But we're also getting some land transmission now. Libya. We've also got a... Way! The United Kingdom's infected, thank goodness. But as you can see, it's a very slow rate of infection. You know, only 2 infected in the UK. It's going to take a while. We've got Spain. We don't have France yet, but Spain's infecting a bit quicker. But the UK is getting there, as is the USA, but it's going there very slowly. So we want to probably start thinking about more cold climates. So I'm going to go again. And I think we want to increase... Next, we want to increase the infectivity. But I'm concerned about kind of the more northern parts of the world. And it's cool, you can see how the virus has travelled via the red lines. Elon Musk has mutated the fever symptom. Let's make sure that's not... It is lethal. Let's stop that straight away, if we're allowed to. I can't remember. Devolve you, because we don't want any lethality at the moment. Any lethality is going to lead to us getting noticed, and we don't want that. Especially as people might die in... The few infected people in the country might die off before they fully infect the country, so we need to be careful. We'll see here Egypt is starting to fall into, not anarchy, but it's starting to have some serious effects there. Here we go, a new minor disease spreading. In a normal checkup, a doctor in Egypt found a new disease which has been named Elon Musk. It appears to be mostly harmless, but must be investigated further. Other countries are also reporting this disease, so here we go. They're going to start noticing, they're going to start getting a little bit worried. We need to start upping the infectivity and getting the rest of the countries infected as soon as possible. Otherwise we could be having some issues. We just infected Southeast Asia, Iraq. How's the UK doing? 56, the US is at 65, so they're still going pretty slowly. Egypt has started to work on a cure. Right now it's going to take them a long time, but that will speed up as our disease becomes more prevalent within the world situation, so we need to very much be careful. Okay, we're going to go for... We're going to go for the insomnia. Inability to sleep makes people less irritable and more irritable and less productive. Or we go for cysts. I think we'll go for cysts. Because we can get some, with the abscesses, we can get a good amount of infection up quickly, which is important, I think. Because now we want to be thinking about infecting people as quickly as possible. I'm still concerned that we haven't got any of the major trouble points like Greenland, Iceland, Madagascar. Madagascar is a rural country and it's a poor country. I'm trying to think of something we can do for rural countries. We might want to work on getting another increase in water. In fact, that would get us a huge amount of infectivity, so I'd be quite happy to do that next once we get enough DNA. Still 0% on the cure progress, but that's going to increase, especially as China is now being infected. That will pass on to Russia via the land borders pretty soon. Things will start kicking off pretty quickly once enough people get infected. South Africa is going to start to go in a second. Okay, I think we've got Central America though. We've got Angola, Iran. Elon Musk Awareness Day. What a horrifying thought. Charities are holding an Elon Musk Awareness Day to raise the profile of this disease and encourage development of a cure. Or if you sold Twitter, it might be a good start. Zimbabwe, South Africa, we finally have Canada. Excellent. Here we go. It's being placed on the watch list, so now the cure is going to start speeding up. But as you can see, the disease is also starting to spread. We've got a lot of points. Let's make sure we use them wisely. I want to slow down future research speed, that's for sure. I want to increase ship transmission because I think that's important. And I want to I want to have rural regions increase as well, in the hopefully possibility of getting Madagascar infected. Because if it doesn't, we could be in the whole world of trouble. There we go. I don't know if that's what triggered it, but I'm happy we got there. We're starting to make good progress. We are playing a Mega Brutal. I find Russia gets infected incredibly quickly. Once it starts, it collapses almost instantaneously. We are also going to work on arid environments and plane transmission, if only because it gets the infectivity up by quite a decent proportion. Let's go to the abilities. I'd like to increase protection against all climates. It's just a useful thing to do. And I think the next thing we'll work on maybe some genetic hardening or a drug resistance program, depending on what we think is more needed at the time. How many? Okay, so about 2 billion are infected, and as you can see here, it's definitely the northern hemisphere which is not getting infected at the moment. It's a year and 157 days till completion. You can slow that down by killing people, but we need to infect people quicker at this point. You can see here, Africa and the Middle East are starting to balloon its cases, but we need to get the rest of the world done. Canada is still going incredibly slowly. There is Iceland. I think that flew in from Saudi Arabia, of all places. Tokyo Olympics mystery. Mystery still surrounds the decision to postpone the Tokyo Olympics. Organised promise it will happen soon, but no reason has been given for the change. And there's Russia. That one will kick off pretty quickly. You'll see this big swarm of red appear on our map. Italy is the first to shut down its airports, but it is infected by this point. We've got 13% on the cure, so we need to start in slowing that down. So we need more work is needed, and we also want to decrease future research speed for sure. Eventually we're going to have to turn this lethal, but I don't want to turn it lethal until we get Greenland, Madagascar and Iceland under wrap and key. We need to make sure we burst these bubbles. Southeast Asia is erupting. Okay, we're starting to get there, but we need to increase cold resistance. The CDC dispatches teams worldwide to try and identify the Elon Musk patient, 0. They hope that the information learned will accelerate development of a cure. And some coughing in the background, that's what we like to hear. We want to We want to work on this really as well. Increased effectiveness in wealthy countries. That's going to be we need another 35 DNA points for that to happen. When that happens, we'll go for that, and then we'll try switch into maybe a little bit of lethality if we think we can get away with it. Oh, we haven't got into New Zealand, have we? I don't think we can get into New Zealand now. Oh no, is New Zealand going to be the one that stops us? We are playing on Mega Brutal. I think once it closes its ports, that's it. I don't know if we can get it back. I don't know if we're going to be able to get into New Zealand. It seems New Zealand, Greenland might be the bastions of resistance to Elon Musk. Because they've closed their airports and their... Oh no. Let's increase our drug resistance program. We've got a little bit of lethality now. Okay, Elon Musk has had his genome fully sequenced by scientists. WHO researchers say this breakthrough will help cure efforts. I've never played on Mega Brutal, and I think I'm actually going to lose. There's going to be a couple of holdouts. There's going to be New Zealand, there's going to be Greenland. I think the rest of the world is going to get there. There's still... Who's still not infected? The Caribbean, Greenland, Central Europe, Poland, Sweden, Finland, the Baltics, Ukraine, and New Zealand. We might be able to get to some of them. I don't think we're going to be able to get to New Zealand, though. Russia's going to explode momentarily. We're going to need to start increasing the lethality, especially as doctors all around the world are completely focused on developing a cure. Oh, I think if New Zealand survives, that's not going to be enough. We're going to try increase how much work is needed. There we go. In fact, we might want to work on avian transmission, but only increases land transmission. That doesn't increase. I don't know if we can get to New Zealand now. And Greenland's closed their ports. Oh no. I think humanity might just survive. Because there's going to be some holdouts in New Zealand and in Greenland, and the research is coming pretty quickly here. The research is going incredibly quickly, in fact. What can we do to increase the lethality and infectivity? We can try tumours that might bite us in. That might not help us. Oh, yeah. I don't think we're not gonna quite get there. We've left it too late. We need to, places like Poland and Sweden are infected. Heavy flooding in Russia, but that's not going to do much help to us. We can give them pulmonary fibrosis. Again, I still don't think it's going to be enough. We're going to give them insomnia to hopefully try to slow them down. Systematic infection, symptom mutated. We're killing people, but we're not going to kill them quick enough for our purposes. 84%. New Zealand and Greenland are going to be the holdout. We've finally got into Poland. We still haven't even got to Sweden yet. My hope is that we can kill... I think even if there's 2 countries that survive, that's not going to be... It's going to be enough for humanity to survive. The world's at 94%. The point will be in shortly. Oh no! We're not going to make it. We left it too late. We finally managed to get into Ukraine, but too late. Sweden, Greenland, and here we go. They're going to start curing. It's not going to be enough. We'd have done pretty well, but I don't think we're going to have done well enough. No, as you can see there, the red bar going down. We'll have killed just over 1 billion. Not a bad tally, but not quite enough. True to real life, New Zealand proves that they are the gods are resisting viruses. Elon Musk to be eradicated. The world has survived a devastating plague and will soon eradicate Elon Musk forever. I wish they did. Large numbers of people have died and the world has changed forever. There we go. In one ways, I'm sad we didn't win, but in other ways, it's quite good. We killed 14% of the global population, but we just didn't get to New Zealand, to Greenland in time. And there we go, defeat. Elon Musk has been eradicated. We can share the news that Elon Musk got eradicated in 646 days. We were playing Omega Brutal, and we didn't manage it. But I've never played Omega Brutal before, so you know, it was fun. We tried, we failed. But there we go. Let's speed this up and we can see the progress of our disease. From good to bad to worse. Arguably, maybe starting in Egypt may not be the best idea, as we really struggled in Northern Europe. But actually, that's the first time I've had New Zealand hold out on me. Normally, it's Madagascar. I was so focused on Madagascar and Iceland and Greenland that I didn't even contemplate New Zealand. We were nearly there. We were starting to paint the map red, and then they developed the cure. We left too late for it to become lethal, but had we killed everyone who was infected, I think humanity would have still survived, with Greenland, with New Zealand, possibly even with Sweden and Ukraine as well. That there is Plague Inc. I really hope you've enjoyed watching. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.